Behind the scenes of Ginny and Georgia Season 3, the cast went all in to deliver what many fans, and even the stars themselves, are calling the most emotional and intense season yet. Brienne Howie, who plays Georgia, shared that she had serious nerves heading into filming, knowing this season would focus on Georgia's mental and emotional unraveling. After Ginny's breakdown in Season 2, it was Georgia's turn to hit rock bottom, and Howie was fully prepared to take on that challenge. Antonia Gentry, who portrays Ginny, explained how different the mother-daughter dynamic felt this time around. Georgia, who's usually in control, starts to fall apart, and Ginny has to step up in ways she never has before. This role reversal gave Gentry new material to work with and pushed both characters into uncharted territory. On set, some of the hardest scenes to film were the emotionally charged conflicts, especially between Ginny and Max. Gentry admitted it felt weird being so mean to her co-star Sarah Wasteglass, but also fun to tap into Ginny's edgier side. "Who is she?" Gentry joked. "She's Georgia." Both actresses opened up about how playing these characters has changed them off-screen. Howie, now a mom, said she understands Georgia's obsessive protectiveness in a whole new way. The show's costume design in Ginny and Georgia, led by Shelley Mansell with help from hairhead Stacey Merriman and makeup artist Leslie Siebert, tells its own story across the new season. Georgia's outfits aren't just stylish, they're strategic, emotional, and packed with meaning. Right from the jump, Georgia makes a statement. She's arrested on her wedding night and shows up to court in her actual wedding dress. She rejects the conservative outfit her husband Paul brings for her first day in court, the day the judge will decide if she can go home on house arrest. "No, she's going to show up in her wedding dress. That was brilliant," Mansell says. And it works. Georgia gets to go home ankle monitor and all.
Georgia Miller, you're under arrest for the murder of Tom Fuller. You have the right to remain silent.
As the trial ramps up, her outfits keep making headlines. For jury selection, she channels Jackie O in a black and white dress with a red headband and matching lipstick. She's polished, classic, and impossible to ignore. One of her most unforgettable looks is the hot pink Generation Love suit she wears on the first day of trial. It's bold, tailored, and says, "I'm not backing down." Georgia uses color like armor. Pink, especially, becomes her power move throughout the season. But as things start falling apart when her kids are taken and Paul leaves, her style shifts. She shows up in softer pinks and darker blues, looking less polished and more vulnerable. A navy blue polka dot dress hints that she's still trying, but she's losing steam.
George Randolph is extremely dangerous and should not be set free.
When she starts to bounce back, so does her wardrobe. She wears a classy pink dress that's a little softer than her earlier power suit, but still totally Georgia. Then, on the final day of court, she walks in wearing a salmon pink suit paired with a simple knit tank. It's clean, confident, and real. No frills, no tricks, just Georgia, showing up as her true self. The costume team said they wanted a happy medium to show she's grounded, not cocky. She's still fabulous, but her fashion tells a deeper story. She's done performing and ready to face her future. As Brienne Howie says, by the time everything wraps up, we are authentic Barbie.
Georgia, how do you feel? Guilt hurt you. Is that why you moved and changed your name? Georgia, what's next for you?
Something that everyone noticed was how much Austin grew between seasons of Ginny and Georgia. In Season 3, fans were quick to point out that Diesel LaTorraca, who plays Austin, looked a lot older because, well, he is. Diesel is now 14, even though Austin is still supposed to be 9 in the show. Diesel joked that sometimes he had to bend his knees a little, or they put Antonia Gentry on an apple box, just to make it look like he hadn't completely outgrown the character. Diesel admitted that playing a much younger character while going through a major growth spurt came with some challenges. He had to adjust his voice and posture to fit the part of a shy, insecure little kid, even though he's a teenager now. The show hasn't really addressed Austin's age out loud since the very beginning of Season 1, when Ginny says he's 9, and since then, it's kind of just been implied he hasn't had a birthday yet. The whole cast is in on the joke at this point. Diesel even made a TikTok about it that got nearly 7 million views.
And later he came over and hurt my mom too.
Order.
Behind the scenes, Diesel's grown a lot as an actor too. Since he's been with Ginny and Georgia for 6 years, he's basically grown up alongside Austin. In that time, he's worked on other projects that have helped him develop his skills. And it shows in Season 3, where Austin finally gets his moment in the spotlight. There were definitely some intense days on set. Diesel said one of the hardest scenes to shoot was the one where Austin and Ginny get pulled away by social services. Between the heavy emotions and the physicality of the scene, it was a tough but memorable experience. Another standout moment for him was when Austin trashes the classroom, something something Diesel said was actually a lot of fun to shoot. Another funny behind-the-scenes detail, Diesel originally got into acting thanks to his mom, who's also an actress. When he was just a baby, she got a call asking if they could use him in a nappy commercial. That was his first gig, and things just kept snowballing from there. He even shared that the show's creator, Sarah Lampert, actually filled him in on some major season 3 and 4 plot twists casually during a chat while his mom was getting her hair done. Overall, Diesel's love for the show, the character, and the whole experience is super clear. Even though playing Austin at 9 while being a teenager is a little weird, he's embraced it fully.
Can I, Dad? Please?
Sure thing.
Fans who watched the dramatic finale saw Georgia walk free after being put on trial for the murder of Tom Fuller. Thanks to a shocking courtroom twist, Austin lied on the stand and said he saw his father Gil kill Tom, effectively framing him and getting Georgia off the hook. It was a tense and emotionally charged moment, one that wrapped up the season with high stakes and a major sense of relief. But according to the show's creators, the ending we saw wasn't the only one they considered. In fact, there was a completely different version of the ending where Georgia ends up in prison. Showrunner Sarah Glinsky and series creator Sarah Lampert revealed that they had seriously toyed with the idea of sending Georgia to jail. Lampert even wrote the scene. In her version, the series closed with Georgia behind bars and Ginny visiting her mom, not as a temporary scene, but as the actual ending. She called it the bad ending, more somber and quiet than what aired. Writing the scene was, according to Lampert, an exercise just to see how it would feel, but they decided it wasn't the right move for the story.
Mrs. Randolph, your husband's here to see you.
The decision to keep Georgia out of jail was apparently part of a long-term plan. Lampert explained that the writers had mapped out this ending back in season 2, right around the time they first introduced the Tom Fuller storyline and had Austin witness Georgia suffocating him. They knew then that the moment would come back, and that framing Gil instead of making him the victim would give them an out. From a narrative standpoint, it keeps the show from becoming static or overly tragic and lets it maintain its trademark balance of drama, dark humor, and chaotic heart. That's not to say Georgia is off the hook forever. Lampert hinted that prison could still be in Georgia's future. After all, she does have a few bodies in her rearview mirror. But for now, she's back home, reunited with her kids, and probably sitting on a ticking time bomb of unresolved trauma, guilt, and secrets. Season 4 will almost certainly explore the fallout, how Ginny feels about manipulating the truth, how Austin processes what he did, and whether Georgia can stay one step ahead of her past. So while the jailhouse ending was powerful on paper, keeping Georgia free might have been the more dangerous, and of course, exciting choice.
Our lawyer was nice to me.
Everyone has heard you labeled a dangerous killer.
Even though the season pushed everyone to emotional extremes, the cast clearly loved every minute of it. And with the season 3 cliffhanger, surprise pregnancy, it's safe to say there's plenty more drama ahead, on and off screen.
Are you okay? Do you need help? No, it's fine. I got it. Plus, we're just not that close.
Thanks for watching Collider. See you next time. Let us know what you think down below.